Good morning. Today we're looking at lesson 93. We're going to be solving two-step equations and two-step inequalities. There are some steps that we need to use when we solve these types of equations. First, we're going to add or subtract on both sides of the equation to isolate the variable term. So we're going to add or subtract on both sides. Then we're going to multiply or divide on both sides to isolate the variable. So let's go ahead and let's try an example. Let's say that I have 2x plus 5 is equal to 35. Okay, so my first step, add or subtract. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides to get rid of it on the left-hand side of the equation, right? And I'm left with 2x is equal to 30. Now my next step is to multiply or divide on both sides. Since I have a 2 smashed up against my x, it means it's being multiplied. So the opposite of multiplication, we have to divide by 2 on both sides. 2 divided by 2 will give me 1, so I'm left with my 1x. And 30 divided by 2 will give me 15. Okay, we've done these before. Let's add in an inequality. Okay, an inequality is a sign that's like less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. We treat it just like an equal sign. So, to solve this equation, my first step is going to be to add or subtract on both sides. My equation says 2x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 1. I don't want to know what 2x minus 5 is, so I'm going to have to add 5 to both sides to get rid of the 5 on my left-hand side. Negative 5 plus 5 is just going to give me 0. So I'm left with 2x is greater than or equal to 6. Okay, now again, a 2 is smashed up against my variable. When they're smashed together like that, it means they're being multiplied. Opposite multiplication, we divide. And 2 divided by 2 will give me 1, and I'm left with x is greater than or equal to 3. We treat that inequality just like an equal sign. Okay, let's try another one. 5a minus 35 is equal to 60. What would my first step be? That's right, to add 35 to both sides, because I want to get rid of it on the left-hand side. We're going to add or subtract. That's our first step always. Now what am I left with? I'm left with 5a is equal to 60 minus 35 is going to give me 25. And I don't want to know what 5a's are. I want to know what 1a is. Since it's being multiplied, we divide by 5 on both sides. And we get a is equal to 5. Okay, let's try one with a fraction. We have 7/8 x minus 24 equals 25. Well, my first step is to add or subtract. Since I'm subtracting 24 from 7/8 x, I'm going to add 24 to both sides. Then I'm left with 7/8 x is equal to 49. 25 plus 24 will give me 49. Now, I have a fraction smashed up against my variable, right? Normally I would divide by a fraction, but remember what we've been calling it? You multiply by the inverse, right? It's a multiplicative inverse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 8/7 is equal to 49 over 1 times 8/7. Remember, this cross cancels to 1, so therefore we have our 1x all alone. Okay, now can we make this a little bit smaller? Can I cross cancel anything here? My 49 and my 7 I can cross cancel. 7 divided by 7 becomes a 1. 49 divided by 7 becomes a 7. And then we just multiply straight across. 7 times 8 is going to give me 56 over 1, which is just x equals 56. Okay, let's try to solve and graph this solution. We'll throw in a graph here. We're going to graph this on a number line. So again, my first step is just add or subtract on both sides. I'm subtracting 6, so I have to add 6 to both sides. I am left with 4y is less than or equal to 16. We're going to have to divide by 4 on both sides. And we're left with y is less than or equal to 4. Okay? So how do I graph y is less than or equal to 4? Remember, if it's less than, we do an open circle, but since it's equal to, it can also be 4. And then we're just going to draw a line in the direction of the numbers that are going to be less than or equal to 4. So just as simple as that. We always have to find this number on our number line. We have to figure out if we fill it in or keep it open, and then draw the arrow in the right direction. Okay, let's try another. 3x plus 12 is greater than 24. We're going to solve and graph this as well. I don't want to know what 3x plus 12 is. My first step is to add or subtract. Since I'm adding 12, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. I want to do the opposite. And I'm left with 3x is greater than 12, because 24 minus 12 will give me 12. I don't want to know what 3x's are. I want to know what 1x is. So I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. And my answer is x is greater than 4, because 12 divided by 3 will give me 4. Now, what number do I need to find on my number line? 4. And it's an open circle. We don't fill it in. It's an open circle because it's not equal to. And x is greater than 4, so I'm going to draw an arrow in the direction of the numbers that are going to be bigger than 4. And that's it for today's lesson. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. There should be some examples in your ALEKS today, and I hope you guys have a great day.